Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions on a Saturday. Women of Amazon are back again. With me is Cassandra and Jana, and new guest to the show is Ariana. Welcome, Ariana. I'm going to share to these groups, starting with Cassandra. Can you give me a little bit of background on yourself, please?
Yes, I am Cassandra Craven. I am the social media manager for Helium 10. I'm sure many of you recognize me from our social media pages. Background in entertainment, film, television, daytime court shows. I was at the premiere for Aquaman for IMAX, so I've got a lot to talk about, a lot of exciting stuff.
Excellent. And you, Jana?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jana. I'm of Wild Tea Translations. We are an Amazon dedicated translation agency. We're helping people expand internationally.
Ariana?
Hey everyone, I'm Ariana. I've been selling on Amazon for over 5 years now. I've got a brand called Blom, and yeah, I'm happy to say what it is. It's my brand. It sells women's headbands over in the US.
Well, let's start with you. Let's get a little bit of background on you. I know you said you're starting with your brand there. It was a quite short introduction. Do you want to take it back a bit? I know I've introduced the other girls before. If we get a little bit of background, taking it back to what, 14, 15 is when you started, and how you built the business today. Do you want to get a little bit of an introduction now, and then I'll have a chat with the other ladies as well?
Yeah, so I started my brand when I was living out in Bali. I moved there in 2013 with the goal of working out a business. And I was pretty committed to working with local makers. And I did that. I found out about Amazon. And so I looked at a product that was both going to work on Amazon and would work for me, that I could stand behind. My background comes from advertising and branding, although I did move into nonprofits, sustainability for a long time. But I knew that I'd be bringing my brand background into, and the differentiation, knowing how to position a brand into whatever I did, and wanted to work, ethically as best I could in Bali and do a product that was different. And I came up with a unique design, which I've got a patent pending on. I launched the product on Amazon in March 2015.
Great. Just a couple of messages in the stream here. Oxy says, hello beautiful ladies, Danny, you look okay too. So I don't know what that means, but here we go. Hey Anna, great to see you here. Hey Danny, and hey all. That's from Florin over in Australia. Andrew's come in. Hello everyone, finally time to learn something valuable again. Hope so. These guys are super smart, so you're going to learn plenty today, Andrew. So Jana, let's go back. COVID-19 thing. We know, because you've been on the show before, the situation with lockdown. You've had it quite tough in the sense that you've been locked down in an apartment with no balcony, militia outside your door, etc. And you've just been freed. You're at your mum and dad's now. Do you want to give a little bit of background there?
Yes, I am finally, after 28 days of being locked down in my apartment. So I was not allowed, I was not even allowed to go to the store or take my trash out. So I was just like literally in my 40 square meters, my 2-bedroom apartment. I was locked in with my boyfriend, and it was very, very tough. It was challenging. I had my meltdowns. I had like nervous breakdowns. Like, it was very, very hard. But in the end, we kind of supported each other, so things worked out, eventually. And then after I was, let out to leave the apartment after 28 days, I decided to move to my parents' place, because it's a very big house and a very, very, very big garden. And if I had stayed here in the first place, I would not have felt that quarantine hit like so hard, because when you have like a big garden, you can go outside, you can go for a walk. Like my dad, he told me like he runs around the house, and so he says that one circle has 50 meters, so he does like 50 circles every evening, so he could like walk and just try to keep his sanity and everything. But we have really strict precautions here in Serbia. From Friday to Monday, every weekend, everybody is inside. Nobody's allowed to go outside. So I just hope that, somewhere in May, I just hope that, we get to live as, close to normal as possible, because I think people are really getting sick and tired of everything, especially like so strict restrictions. And a lot of people they're having problem with mental health. And, like a lot of my friends whom I talked to, like everybody who was positive, now it's kind of negative. So it's having like a really horrible impact everyone around you. And I know how everybody's saying like you should have read books, be awesome. But like when you've been doing that for like 30 days in a row, you just don't feel like it's a good day to reflect and read books and be positive. So like I admire people who like actually have this routine throughout this whole mess. Because honestly, I've been struggling with that a lot in any way. So
yeah, no, I think everyone's been struggled to a point. I said how lucky I am. If I was living in a council flat like I was 25 years ago, I'd be going crazy by now, but I'm lucky with what I got. So I appreciate everything I have. But there are a lot of people, as we talked week after week on the show, this kind of being on lockdown is like this big thing that compresses people. You know, there's going to be more babies, more divorces. We've seen that mental health issues have increased. We've seen battery increase in the UK. It's like 120% already. And then once the sun got, like the heat's out as well, and you're locked indoors and you've got no ventilation, it's going to be worse and worse for people. So hopefully, God forbid, everyone's safe and everyone's cool. Okay, so you and I have a chat. We were recording on a secret project that's coming soon, Cassandra, right? Yesterday. So you went into the office, if you don't mind saying. It was everyone's working from home. So, you know, being Helium 10, the big company it is, obviously say what you can say, what you can't say. How's that been? Is it a bit strange going into this big complex with, you know, doing that recording yesterday?
Yeah, no one was there. It's really this dystopian feel. So I get to the parking lot. Obviously, I get a front row space because no one's there. Yeah. And there's people, the minimal people. There maybe was 5 to 10 people I saw total. Not from Helium 10, but just in the general vicinity. And they all had masks on. They all had gloves on. And it's so weird to see, you know. And as I'm driving in, we live about, you know, I'm in Orange County. Irvine is where the HQ is. So we're about 20 minutes from the beach, and you see beaches closed, COVID-19. It's very eerie in a weird way. And yet it's a beautiful day. We're Orange County, California. Sun's out, beautiful clear skies. And it's just a very odd feeling. So I came into the office and I'm alone, which is great for productivity. So I'm getting a lot of work done. But you just kind of compared to the energy, and I've mentioned this before, you know, we're a very lively group of people and we really are like a close-knit family. And so to just kind of be apart and not have that same energy in the office, everything felt very, you know, somewhat stale. You know, we have like,
sterile, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the tequila room, you know, lights are off and everything. And Jana knows how fun the tequila room can be. And usually that's where, you know, all the happenings are. So everything just, it has this air of just a down vibe. And, you know, we also they reported 40,000 people going to the beach yesterday, which I can't even, I mean, and either I think one of two things are going to happen. Either we're going to see a second wave of infections and people getting sick, and it's going to be a reality hit for a lot. Or hopefully, cross our fingers, this is a step into normalcy and maybe things are recovering well. So one of two things.
Cool. Makes sense. Ariana, how's lockdown been treating you?
It's been interesting. So I formed a household with my relatively new boyfriend. So I'm not living, I feel like I'm kind of camping up at his place. Right. My place is over an hour away. I mean, I'm glad to have the company and that I'm not living alone right now, because I think that would be even more challenging. But then also just, you know, a new household has been formed and away from my staff and my comfort and things have come up with the business and I can't execute on them because I don't have the resources around that I usually do. Yeah. And on top of that, I've been, because I'm at a higher risk level, we're not going to any shops. So a lot of energy is spent in trying to organize how to just get stuff into the house.
You've got, like me, you've got autoimmune disease. So you're on lockdown in hiding, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I can get out. I've been told I'm okay to get out for exercise. So I do that. And thankfully around here, I'm in Cambridgeshire and it's really easy to avoid people, and we get to go outside and do that every day. But I can't go to shops. And so that's been really tricky, and annoyingly, a lot of energy goes into just trying to get fed. Yeah.
No, it's tough. I mean, my wife been going to the shops. You know, I'd prefer to go out, but the problem I've got is that I'm such high risk if I go out and it's game over, you know, if I catch it, I'm not saying it's game over, but I'm very high risk like you, and it's not worth the putting yourself in that level of danger. It's even like with my wife, she's got gloves, she's got a mask, sanitizers and everything else, and I don't really want her to go out. But it's tough to try and organize food. We buy food from a local farm here, but that's not going to cover everything. You know, you can get so many things on Amazon and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, the foolish part of me would be, right, let's go out and just do it. But then trying to be sensible is like, if I come down with it, then I can't, there's nothing I can do that's positive. Do you know what I mean? So you have to be a bit smart about leaving the house.
Yeah, so we've managed as a couple for neither of us to go out so far, but it's really tricky, and a lot of energy goes into trying to work that out and find out ways to get what we need without going to any shops. But so far we've got there. We're about to face an issue where the next food delivery isn't 2 weeks away. So we're.
Have you heard about intermittent fasting? No, it's tough, isn't it? Okay, so just a few more.
I do intermittent fasting. That was rude, dude. Like,
no, I do as well. I intermittent.
I do it between dinner and breakfast. That's my intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Okay, so Owen says, "Hi, Danny and ladies. Shout out to Jana, my go-to translation service for the last 18 months now, reaping some serious dividends. Cheers."
Cheers,
Lawrence says, "Looking forward to this episode." Patricia says, "Hi, Danny. Hi, ladies. Watching with the other half in New Zealand." Lazar's in the chat. Cara Sayers here. Hello, Cara. Peter Luxembourg's here. Obviously, Peter Greenwood's here. Hey, Peter. Hope you're well. Who else? We've got Juan's here. Delia's there. Terry's here. Oxy's here. Sharon's here as well. And, of course, Florin. Okay, so let's... I want to talk with Ariana about the situation. You've got a weird predicament because your products are sold out really fast. Yeah. You've not got that problems where someone's got what would be considered non-essential items. So you just can't get the stock to land because of problems. Do you want to talk about being in that weird situation where you've got high demand and it's been hard to get your stock into Amazon?
Yeah, I found it really stressful because my products became high demand because they were being used for reasons related to the pandemic, but they weren't recognized as being essential items because at the end of the day, they're headbands. Yeah. And so, of course, they're just lumped into why would they be an essential item? But my headbands were being used heavily by nurses to protect their hair. So in the States, a lot of hospitals were advising that nurses and medics were wearing things. I think it's extended now to more of the hair, but at the time it was a wide headband was enough. So they were highly distressed because they couldn't get their hands on the headbands, or they'd ordered it, but the delivery time was showing 4 or so weeks away. As well as that, then the CDC announced the recommendation to use cloth face masks in public. And then again, I had a huge spike, just insane sales for about 3 or 4 days until I sold out. So, and then again, there was a combination of, it was more that I was getting written to about the delays more than, and now a lot of people asking about why we're sold out. So I have products. There's a lot of other ones I could be buying, but for whatever reason they wanted mine. They know the brand, or I have really high reviews on my products. So a lot of distress from my customers, which was really hard. I felt like it felt amazing that my product was being used during this time and that it could help people, but then that I had my hands tied around the delivery times and then around staying in stock. So I found it really distressing. So of course I've been looking into a 3PL to do fulfillment, but that's been a real challenge. And I do have one set up, but it's not perfect yet. And I haven't been releasing a lot of stock at once to allow us to work out how the workflow and how it works and make sure there aren't mistakes. And there have still been mistakes, even though I'm trying to limit how many per day we sell. So I've still got issues to work out there, but it just had to happen really quickly, and kind of learning on the go with how to do FBM and work with a 3PL
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing you suffer from is that you know, in an industry where you get copycats and the market gets trashed, and so basically with that, you're still selling well. That's the bit, you know. It's like some people like lose ground in terms of, you know. Do you want to talk on that a bit?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of copycats. So I launched at a time when I really took a chance on women's headbands, and there wasn't a lot of competition. I saw there was a potential opportunity, but I also innovated. I came up with a new concept for how to position my brand, and also a new product. It's a headband that can be styled in a whole bunch of different ways, and we provide a training card and video on how to do that. It's just fabric and stitches at the end of the day, so that got copied, and as did the brand positioning. And I've been really lucky to not. My sales have only ever increased, basically. So I've been incredibly surprised, because in China I make in Bali, where it's expensive, and also I use high quality products and materials, and it is something that I just can't compete with these Chinese sellers who sell for up to or even more than sometimes a tenth of the price. It's a really big difference. And that's where I think just branding and messaging, imagery, the quality has really made sure that I can hold my place. And there's a lot of, it hasn't really translated into social media love, but there's a lot of repeat buyers that I get for on Amazon. So you know, I get 15% easily repeat buyers, so of my sales.
Good.
So
That's
yeah.
good.
And yeah, so I've also happened to, you know, I've got a listing with thousands of reviews, which really helps pull in people, so they see that this is a product which is clearly well tested. There's a lot of safety in buying that product. So yeah, and then people, even though it's a lot more expensive, I guess they're sold on the look and the feel, the brand, the imagery, the reviews, and then they love it and buy more. So
yeah. That's good. Jana, last time we had a chat, you were saying is that obviously it was just as the pandemic was kicking in and lockdown, but your business, you know, whereas people's business went down or they go up, you had a good increase in terms of translations, probably because people preparing that whilst on lockdown, we're going to move from the US to Europe. So now's a good time to start getting these listings together. What's been the last 4 or 5 weeks? What changes have you seen there in your business?
Well, this has basically increased even more. Unfortunately for the French marketplace, like as everybody knows, probably all the warehouses have been disabled to ship out any of the products for Amazon. So I haven't had a lot of inquiries for the French market, but people are still there. They're still inquiring about the international marketplaces. They still want to launch their products. And I think that a lot of people are like getting ready more than ever to just gonna launch everything they have. I have a lot of inquiries from the States, from the UK, just people saying, I really want to be prepared on time. Like, I want to launch everything. And a lot of people are just, you know, a lot of clients that we have that sell even beauty products, they're a little bit skeptical about, you know, launching them or maybe, you know, doing anything about it. Even though a lot of people say, you know, you should not stop PPC, which is something you can, of course, confirm, but you have to kind of keep it like low as possible, but don't stop it because it's going to be bad afterwards. And I think a lot of people who have beauty products, because a lot of beauty products are being marked as some sort of a medical, you know, kind of they could use it. And Amazon has been stricter than ever when it comes to a lot of words, not just antibacterial, but also a lot of other words, which you would never actually think that they have to then do with any medical condition. But we've had an example with this. It says intimate discomfort, and that was flagged for the Italian marketplace. So people are like very careful, and we haven't had any inquiries regarding the beauty bath products, anything like it, because people are just very afraid. But if it comes to all other products, basically outdoor ones probably are going to be a very big hit. I also got targeted for the, you know, the outdoor pool, you know, the plastic pool for the yard. I get like, you know, targeted by that, like on all possible social media. So I think everybody who's like in the outdoors, not to mention like yoga mats and stuff like that, people can use it at home, are just on like serious increase. And it's been very good. I mean, it's been solid. We've used this time to actually hire a lot of people whom we might not be able to afford earlier, and we were very happy to help them in this time. And I think that people, if you can hire someone or if you can acquire a business or something, I think now it's the time to do that. And I think once this pandemic is over, you're completely going to, gather the fruits of your efforts and everything. Like, even though you have like a tight budget, I'd say like you should acquire or hire people that you maybe would not be able to afford after this pandemic is over. I really think everybody should think of like, how should I skyrocket right after this pandemic is over? Definitely.
Yeah, makes sense. I'll read some more comments out here. So Florin said here, agree, intermittent fasting is definitely the go, but doesn't work for my kids. Florin, I agree there. You should never let children below the age of 18, 19, because they're not fully developed to do intermittent fasting. That is very dangerous. We pre-order groceries and I go pick them up once a week. Takes only a minute at the shop, and still going to the deserted beach every day. Tiffany has said here, if you have a woman's face mask, then they may block it. They blocked mine. Women need their beauty. Tiff checks in every day. What else have we got here? Leanne's joined the feed. Abigail's here. Ian's here as well. Jason's here. How you doing, brother? Mark is here as well. So come over to you, Medea. We were talking off the call, but I want to relate this to some of the girls. Being that you're the largest software company, and there's a big feedback loop there, isn't there, in terms of the customer base? What are your customers saying that what's the feedback on social media, etc., on how they're feeling in and around the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked earlier when this all kind of hit, and the vibes were very positive and people were really planning. We did a couple polls where some minimal, I would say less than 15 to 20%, were thinking about stopping production or pulling out, but really people are preparing for the future and looking how they can pivot and get their products going. Not sure if you've checked out, but on our blog. So I've connected with a few people. One was an 18-year-old entrepreneur who actually foregoed going to traditional college, and he actually took our Freedom Ticket course, and he did stuff for StockX, when he was younger. And so his big game-changing moment was going to be 2020, and he was going to come out with products. He's actually working with his mom. He's a content creator. And I recently, so that came out about 3 months ago, and I connected with him recently over the weekend, and I was like, how's that going? What's going on? And he said, I got to be honest, I had to pause everything. I'm having to pivot and see what I can do for other realms. He's really focusing on YouTube, content creation, what he can add and benefit, especially having that unique perspective. But you have to keep in mind, this affects all age ranges, to experienced sellers, to a lot of people who are looking to launch their first products in March, right before the summer and all this. So it's a mixed bag depending on who you talk to. But overall, I think we see a lot of positivity. I'm getting a lot of good feedback, and I think people are really planning for the future.
Cool. What about now, because we're kind of what I call a holding pattern, what are you guys doing on social media that's different? Because obviously social media isn't like direct to sales as an obvious channel like pay-per-click is, it searches intent and everything else. But branding, etc., plays a massive role with obviously within the brand and the voice and everything you're doing around it. What are you, Ariana, what have you done differently whilst the pandemic's on and you're out of stock? Have you had a different approach to your social media campaigning?
Yeah, one big thing I'm doing is updates. So communicating with everybody about what's going on. I get so many customers contacting me about it anyway. So I was like, I've just got to let them know and make sure. So even if I have we are now allowed to send some stock into Amazon, right? So it's like, today, this is what's in stock. Got 18 colors in stock of this kind of thing. Also, because we're doing donations, I've been organising doing the headbands with the buttons on so that nurses and medics who are wearing the surgical masks can save their ears from it. So that's been a common thing to be communicating about and getting the form out for people to apply for those donations, packs of donated headbands. I keep thinking I'm finally going to show my face on social media, but I keep not doing it. I feel like this is the time. Yeah.
Well, why not? Let's if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
I just get shy.
Hmm.
Yeah, this isn't like this Facebook Live is not something I'd usually do.
I know, but it's stretching yourself. Are you using this time to kind of stretch yourself as well? Doing things that make you slightly scared, you know?
Right. I think what's been happening though is I've never been busier, probably other than the first 3 months of launching 5 years ago. I'm working incredible hours. So I lost my I had a four-day-a-week team member based in London that I'd work with face to face. And she just resigned a week before lockdown happened. Well, a week before lockdown happened. So we finished up working together a few weeks ago, and so I've just and there's huge amounts of changes and challenges. So I'm just working incredibly hard. So yeah, the idea to then get my head into social media and sharing mode when it's something that is challenging on top of everything else that's new and different and challenging right now. I think I'll get there, but
Well, you get there in your own time, but I just thought I'd ask because, you know, I can't see any
Ariana,
reason.
You seem very comfortable on social media. You're gorgeous. You have a lot to offer. I feel like don't let anything hold you back. This is the time. Trust me.
Cool. Thanks.
No, definitely. I also just wanted to say that, you know, I'm not also like super social media friendly. I also am like very shy, and it took me forever to even put my face on my own website. People are like, no, like you have to show your face on the website. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
I know.
I don't even have my
shy.
YouTube. No, honestly, like nobody would say that I'm shy, but like I really hate showing social media. It's really uncomfortable for me. But I'm just gonna say, like, you know, I'm not an introvert or anything like it, but I'm very shy when it comes to social media. I'm just saying to Ariana that I think you should definitely do it because, you know, it took me forever, and don't be stupid like me. And that's just my advice.
Tiffany agrees as well. You can do it, Ariana. What is her social handle?
Yes, I want to know that too.
Blom, yeah. So my website is blom.co and my handles are the same. Blom, blom.co.
Okay, so then what we're going to do, we have to vote soon and get Ariana to go front of house and be the face of her brand, yeah?
Yes.
Tim Jordan, Mr. Schultz, is joined the fray here. Hi, ladies. Oh, and hello, Danny. I'll have a chat to you about that later. There are things that make me scared, like wearing my awesome Teva sandals and hearing the criticism from Cassandra. Spill the beans, Cassandra, please.
Oh, well, I happened to get a text message yesterday from Mr. Tim Jordan sporting his sandals that were made famous on Project X, to which I told him that we could have definitely put that in his clause of a no sandals clause moving forward. But I understand things are getting hotter, so you want to break those out. To each his own. To each his own.
Yeah, he got memed in the Amazon FBA memes group as well, because it's like what's below the table, because obviously he's doing the shot and it's like above the fold, if you like, and then you see him with his sandals and these little shorts on. It cracks me.
Oh, Tim Jordan, you know, a man of many talents, fashion connoisseur, all of it.
Yeah, but yeah, you can keep the shorts. But I love you, Tim. Jana. Things have changed for you as well. Me and you normally out on the road speaking, right? You obviously get a lot of your work through speaking as well, being visible on the road. So what's changed for you in that sense? Because obviously you're still busy. You've got like clients coming in. It hasn't really made the same impact that it has on other businesses. But obviously this has probably had a bit of an adjustment on how you get new customers as well.
Yeah, exactly. So like we're very well organically ranked, and I don't do actually any like Google Ads promotion because it didn't turn out to be a good choice for my business. But you know, like when you type YLT or my name, we show up and we're like good ranked and stuff. But usually a lot of clients come through conferences and through like meetups and stuff like that, my travels. And I tend to keep myself busy, you know, like me and Danny, I think like last year, like 10 conferences together or something like crazy number like that.
We got the same again in September. Like me and you booked out quite a lot in September, October time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just, you know, like I was like so looking forward to this year because this was going to be like my big year, like in the States, which started with LA and the Empower conference. And then like kind of everything just went, you know, like I was going to go to the Helium 10 party. Cassandra knows about it. I got this fabulous dress and everything. And we like girls, we were just like, you know, like let's hire like a makeup artist and stuff like that, like and just having fun. Right. And then like everything was just like taken away through the last of the year. So I just decided that, okay, so how I'm going to get like new clients? and new customers. And so I just decided I have to definitely kind of just rethink my strategy and just position myself so I could reach other people online as much as possible. So when I was saying that, you know, like you should go and hire people, we hired a lot of people for our content team, for our marketing team, advertisement, lead gen, everything that I could get a hold on, which we haven't done before. I'm going to go all in with all sorts of channels online where we can get to customers also outside of the Amazon space. I also think that it's also a good idea to also reach to, you know, beyond, like to think outside of the box a little bit. And this is what I'm trying to do. And maybe, you know, I'm going to spend too much money on that at this point, but I definitely think it's going to pay off long term, because I don't think the situation is going to be better. Like, I don't know, probably not before September. We're not going to see the States or anything, like, or people are not going to be okay with traveling and stuff like that. So I just kind of had to regroup and position myself as an online business who's going to just attack online clients outside and just focus on making the team who's going to do that. And it's just like doing it, like I usually use like a one part-time member to do that. Now I have to focus on like building a team of like 7 or 8 people who are going to do that full-time, because we just cannot just give up and sit down and be lazy, you know. Like, I know the situation is not the best, but I think now it's the contra, you know, what's it called, like in the war, you know, when you have the contra offenses. So I think this is right now, this is the best time for me to do something like that. And probably a lot of other people are like, I talked to a lot of different people, like business owners, and you can like really be surprised like how people can think outside of the box, which they didn't think they would be able to before this whole situation. But this kind of situation kind of gets the best out of you in terms of like, how do I survive this? How do I, you know, like thrive and survive like the whole situation? So I think this has been also a very good I'm not gonna say like a practice, but challenge for everyone to see how can they kind of reinvent themselves. And I see a lot of people doing a very, very good job in that.
No, I think the positive mindset, you know, is key. I spoke to my accountant yesterday. I've been with them since 2011. They look after all 3 businesses for me, all in-house. But the person I spoke to is new to the business. The guy left, they'd done an exit, and so I met her. Her name was Mel for the first time. We were having a chat, and she was giving a run through of what we're doing with the business and pandemic and everything else. She's sitting there used to furloughing everyone, and she said to me, "Is like, you're the only person I've spoken to who's actually been positive. Everyone's like, you know, taking it out on them, blaming, shouting, what can we get from the government, all that." And I'm like, look, just go and get some more fucking customers. That's my mindset. Do you know what I mean? It's like, sell more products, get more customers.
Just do what you have to do.
Create more services, do you see what I mean? It's like, my thing is like, and she asked me, do I want to furlough anyone? I said, like, what the fuck? What do I want to do that for? Because that, if I do that, that changes my mindset. And that's why I try and encourage everyone to really have a positive mindset, because it makes a massive, massive difference. It's the pendulum swinging, right? If you think like, and you're miserable every day, you will stay miserable. You have lack of energy and everything else. If you can just adjust that and just think positive things, even if you have little affirmations you say on a daily basis, when you're feeling like shit, at the end of the day, you can control what goes inside of your head, right? And it doesn't take much.
Agree. I just want to add that, you know, like whatever sort of like friends you have who are negative, I just think you should kind of distance yourself from them. No matter how good friends, you know, they're going to stay your friends after all this is over. But I think that right now we just have to surround ourselves with like positive energy and positive people. And if somebody's like being super negative, we're just gonna put him like on ignore and then say hi every now and then and stuff like that. You know, like you have to dose this this negativity that surrounds you, because it's not like I can go somewhere and be like, whatever, I'm just gonna take like a short weekend trip and just, you know, fix myself. Like, you know, people around you, they really affect you. And I just really think that that's something that you should do. And you know how people usually say, like, you are the average of 5 friends you surround yourself with? Well, I definitely think it's absolutely true when it comes to also the negativity and everything. And that's why I think you should definitely surround yourself with most positive people, you know, no matter how good or bad friends they are or nothing. But, you know, you should just embrace their energy and try to kind of share that, you know, same energy that they give you. Definitely.
I think, and the thing is, it's not just about, people might think I'm deluded. Maybe I am, but I'd rather be blissfully ignorant and deluded and get on with things than be fucking miserable. And I'm trying to make that a choice. And I know that isn't always a choice, right? But you can look, even when you've been in the worst situation, like I've been in really bad places. And so I know what it looks like. And I'm sure there's lots of people listening to this call and play back on the podcast will know the same thing. Once you've hit rock bottom, there's only one way, and that's back up again. So it's applying the right mindset to anything. If you've got a situation where things are bad, there's always a good part within that bad part. So you could, even if it's 3%, why not just focus on that 3%? And see if you can turn that into 6%, 9%, 12%. Do you see what I mean? Because it becomes momentum. This stuff changes. And my fireball of energy, you're going to tell us about what you've been doing with some social media, because you're always super positive as well.
Danny, I know. I was just going to say, I'm so inspired. I'm like, oh, I'm ready to kick some ass now with that mantra you just gave us. No, and it's so true. And even with that, I was thinking, we're still so fortunate to be working day to day. But of course, it's an office environment. It's a company environment. There's going to be little hiccups and things like that are frustrating. But we all have been reminding ourselves the same thing of we're so lucky and fortunate to have a company that cares about us. We're able to work from home. We're able to be safe. We're able to still connect with our customers, our members, our influencers, our affiliates. And so it's so true when that little bit of negativity slips in there, you're kind of like, no, hold on. Let's think of the big picture. Positive vibes. I'm fortunate enough to get to be with my family right now, work from home, keep it going. So for social media specifically, we have had a lot of creativity coming out. We've done some fun interactive games, things like that on social. We also have a mega announcement that came out yesterday. So we'll have some more mega updates coming next week. So stay tuned for that. Feel free to DM us if you have any questions.
Someone's actually got a question for it. It says, can't wait for the iPad version of the amazing recently released Helium 10 app. Any thoughts on the ETA?
So John is our VP of product. He is the master of all things app. And I have been passing a lot of those suggestions along, and we want that feedback. So anything that you have on any of our tools, mobile app, anything that you want to see, anything that you want us to improve on, add into, send it to support@helium10.com. Attention suggestions. You can also DM all of our social media channels, leave it on the Facebook pages. I make sure to get all that feedback to our product managers, to our product team, let them know what you want. So please, please, please. Yes, but I will. So I don't have an ETA, but I promise I'm passing all those through.
Great. There's a few comments coming. I just want to read through. So Roger Percy saying the grind, Danny, we love it. Andrew is giving fire emojis. Tiffany says, yeah, I'm distancing myself from many at this time, talking about negative people. Sai says, listen to the show every day, keeps my mindset positive. Thank you, guys. Oksana says, Ariana, you should do more podcasts. Cassandra, please tell Tim Jordan his shorts and sandals made him really popular here in Europe. Danny, I have no clue where you get all this energy from. Keep going. Owen has said here, I already have the app. We'll be sending feedback. Is he a beta tester? Drop it in the comments. Owen.
So the app is live. Right now, PPC is in beta. So yes, okay. So anything, yes, but feedback, please send it. We want it all. Good, cool. Bad, whatever.
And so as you're super, super positive, what have you been putting out on your personal social media as well? What's the kind of stuff you've been posting recently?
I actually haven't really posted in feed on Instagram or anything because I'm used to travel and events and things like that. That's kind of my, my personal niche, if you will. I have done a lot of Instagram stories. I actually drove by Disneyland last night because they did in one of the hotels, they made all the lights into a little Mickey, facial thing or whatever. So that's kind of cool. And then I've been inspired because I do, we have our Seller Talk series. Jana, I'm just going to give a little plug, just dropped yesterday on IGTV. Look for more clips of that. But I have been inspired about getting more tips out there, strategy, little tidbits. So I've been tweeting a lot of kind of just daily what you can do on social media. And I feel like I'm upping my game in my career more and more too. So that's kind of how I'm shape shifting into positivity and keeping strong.
Good. And what were you guys, your main focus, your channels in terms of social media? Is it mainly Instagram, or are you going TikTok? Does anyone still use Twitter? I don't even use it no more, you know, but
we've been getting some good feedback on Twitter lately. So YouTube blew up with Project X.
yeah,
Instagram, we have a great connection, I think, especially with influencers like Isabella, Christina, Jana, Tim Jordan, Kian. Like, those people are all huge on Instagram. So that's where that comes into play. We are trying to get our TikTok going. It's just a little more complicated now that we're all at home.
yeah.
But I will say we get on these Monday morning calls, and about 50% of the Helium 10 crew is like, did you guys see this new TikTok? I think I'm going to do this. So we're all TikToking on our own time. We just have to make it come together. Yeah, YouTube, Facebook, our groups are on fire more than ever. And I think we've seen a variety of content, especially in our Facebook groups, just because, you know, that's kind of a support system for people too. It's not just all business. It's, hey guys, are you seeing this? Hey, are you experiencing this? So there's a camaraderie that has really come from this whole situation on all of our social channels.
So Danny, I'm imagining, I may be wrong, but I think LinkedIn could be a really good channel for you if you were to leverage that. Have you done any work on there in terms of social media outreach? Jana.
Are you talking? Okay.
Yeah.
I actually started. Like LinkedIn has a very, very good visibility now more than ever. This is also what Gary Vaynerchuk was also saying. You know, like LinkedIn and TikTok is like, you know, something that you should do like for your business. I made a LinkedIn page, and it's all like in beta, like how you can invite people to see you and everything. But like LinkedIn has been basically my main social channel. I don't use Facebook I don't use my private Facebook for anything. As I said, like I don't really like to post my personal things. Like I'm a little bit shy when it comes to that. It should be more free to post like in my company's name, but I really like LinkedIn. And when you post something which is really good content, people are going to like it and reshare, and then your content can become trending for that hashtag, and then it, you know, like Amazon trending hashtag, then like that's shown to all people, and they have like a really good I think that's the thing with the trending hashtags is really good, and that really grabs my attention every single time. And I really think that LinkedIn can be a little bit brutal, because you cannot just write like, you know, I love my life and I support I don't know what. Like I don't think that people respond so well that on LinkedIn as they maybe would on Facebook. But on LinkedIn
or Insta, Insta is Facebook, are closely related.
But on LinkedIn, if you really have good content, or you maybe just write 2 or 3 sentences of something that sometimes you don't even have to come up with that yourself. But if you're like one of the first ones to maybe repost like I don't know, like the French warehouse is closed on Amazon Amazon, and you kind of write 2 or 3 sentences and post that link, people are gonna like that link. They're gonna go and visit your profile. So it has a very, very good visibility. You don't have to be like this social media mastermind. You just have to be quick and react quickly. And if you put good content, definitely people are going to react to that. So this is also how we also get clients and we get contacts. And I have like a lot of very good, also what I really think about LinkedIn is to have relevant connections. So I just recently cleaned like I have like around 1,500 connections over there, and I cleaned all of those irrelevant ones, like which I've had like I don't know 5 years ago, which I really don't need them. I don't want to address them and get like a like from my mom, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you know, like you don't want likes and like appraisal from your friends and family. So I really think that LinkedIn works, and this is also something that I would use even more for work. I would also love to try TikTok, because TikTok's been, you know, like the talk of the town for such a long time now. But I really think it's better when you have a product and you can advertise your products on TikTok, and, you know, like target this Generation Z, or, you know, whoever it could be your audience, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like my daughter, she has a go at me because TikTok is like got a theme to like the music, right? I had it on my phone for a little while, and whenever I've called it up, and you can hear that music all sounds very similar, the style. And she has a go at me. She's like, "What's the matter with you? What are you doing on TikTok?" But then on the flip side, look, she's staring at me now. Yeah, I'm live at the moment talking about you taking the piss out of me for TikTok. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. So, but then you look at someone like Gary Vee, and he said, it doesn't matter. You can use TikTok. It doesn't matter about the age group, because he's getting a lot of traction on there. But I mean, he's like superstar, right? So wherever he goes, they will follow him as an audience, and he'll get a big following from. But I don't know what it would be like for someone who's 44-year-old like me, growing a TikTok account. But I know that Anthony
Well,
Lee's done very well.
Maybe that would be very interesting. Because like, look at this old guy. Like, whoa, he can dance. You know, they're like, let's just follow him because you're old with that beard. You know,
Yeah,
it's kind of art nouveau.
Did you see that? That was actually a compliment from Jana, because she normally gives me brutal feedback on everything.
Danny,
So
I would watch your TikToks all day, every day. I would
Yeah.
look forward to your content. Trust me.
I will not be dancing on TikTok. I can promise you that. That's why I was a DJ back in the day, because you either dance
Because you couldn't dance, but
because you
could play
can't
music.
dance. Yeah. I could play music.
Make a TikTok with your daughter. Do a duet.
Yeah, with her singing and me. Yeah, no. We might. Do you know what? I've been teaching her to engineer at the moment, like make records and stuff. And so she might end up doing some TikToks, and we'll play back some of her records, and she can sing live on those. But
yes, please.
That's her world. I want to save that for her world. Let her do her thing. Quick one here is Tim says here, he's back at Oxy here. I'm not convinced popular isn't always good. Tiger King is popular, but only it calls it complete dumpster fire. Ha ha ha. But I will be positive and assume it's a good thing. That's talking about his shorts and sandals. Tiffany saying, come on, Danny, dance. You can do it. Listen, I might be a fucking optimist, but I'm not a moron. You won't get me dancing around. I look like a fucking idiot. But thank you, Tiff. I'm glad that you believe in me. Owen's saying here, my lad Brad is a proper TikToker. He should get into acting. That's good. So, Ariana, channels. Talk to me the channels that you're on and that you're going to launch your career on, and where your product, because Tiffany said so. Talk to me about what channels are you working? Mainly Insta, or where else?
Yeah, so Instagram's important. Look, we're not huge there, but I know that it's been important to have it there. I can see that a lot more people look than they do follow. It's probably just to check out, what is this brand? Who are they? What do they look like off Amazon? Just today, actually, our new Shopify website's gone up. It's not shoppable yet. Yeah. But this is the next stage, is doing all social media marketing and marketing off Amazon. So until now, I haven't put huge amounts of effort in, partly because I knew that I was being found mainly through keyword research, and that I just had to look good on social media, but it wasn't where I was getting my main sales through. So you'll see Instagram looks beautiful, but it wasn't aimed towards generating new customers. And then that's the next stage to work out, basically. So Instagram's definitely important, being in products that's fashion related. Obviously it's also mainly actually 2/3 worn for sports, but it's an apparel item. TikTok, I mean, it's not, if it is the younger generation, I don't know. I didn't know that older people are on there, but it's something that I've thought about playing with, but probably finding the right person to go on it and represent the brand. Right now, that's not who my brand talks to. It's more millennials. So, I'd have to think about that and who it would be that would be on there and what content. But yeah, it's a whole part, and I haven't got it all quite worked out yet. I know Instagram will be important. Everything that goes on Instagram goes through to Facebook. We have some interaction there, and again, it's just more to show that we're there and we're active, and if they want to interact with us, that we're there. Right now, what's been working, it's not a social channel, but getting newsletter signups is finally working after years. So that seems.
What is that worked recently?
Yeah, it's working recently. So everything, it's the same with Instagram signups. So ever since the pandemic, everything in terms of newsletter signups and Instagram followers is just
open rates on email have skyrocketed. You probably had the same with Helium 10, right? Your email open rates are just shot up because everyone's at home.
100%. That's where you're getting all this traction. People are finding out about what's going on, the updates, everything. Yes, email rates are right through the roof, right to the top, if you will.
Excellent. Right. So we're coming up to the top of the hour. What I'd like to ask you, one final question each, and then we'll go around the room to give some advice on social media and bits and pieces. But what have you guys planned to do in the pandemic, but haven't got round to doing it yet? Starting with Jana.
Okay, so my shame for this quarantine is that I haven't been able to finish a single book. That's it.
Really? Do you know what? I don't actually finish books because I got into speed reading. This week I've gone audiobooks. I've gone through 4 books, but I just skip. I just find the index on the chapters and just take bits out. I haven't finished a book in years, so there's no shame
I don't
in that.
like. I'm not a fan of audiobooks. I'm like I'm a visual type, and I like to also feel the paper. And I'm kind of old school when it comes to books. I don't even use Kindle. I like to read, and I like to
give me
read
something proper. That's pathetic. Give me something. You abused me earlier on, so I can get away with it.
It was a literature book. I don't read self-help books that much. I just read literature, like proper books. And this one had 500 pages, and I made it to 240. And
before
this
the door stopped because it was hot. You had the front door open with the book. Yeah.
Before that, I don't know. Before I opened the window, and then I never came back to my book. Like that's how it is. So that's my shame.
Excellent, Ariana. What is the one thing you want to get done in the pandemic, but you just simply haven't got around to doing?
So I thought that sales would slow down and that I'd have more time, which I haven't had. So I thought I'd actually be working. I've got a new business idea, new brand, and I thought that's what I'd be working on, and I had not touched it. Yeah, just been so busy.
Cass, what about you?
Okay, so the first week we went into, lockdown, I was like, this is great. I'm going to finally clean out my closet, do a little painting. So I took out all these clothes. I took out, coats and shoes and everything. And I didn't really put it back, nor have I actually done any organizing. But I keep looking at everything like, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. Again, working from home, though, it's like I'm still working, the same amount of time. So it's not, like I'm kind of just laying around. But yes, that is my shame. And I see it every day. And I'm like, I'm going to get around to that.
Yeah. I mean, mine's still chatbots. I played around with them, but I've never got serious about them. And that's for like 2 or 3 years. It's been on my to-do list and I really need to get my head into it. But I just don't find the time. One piece of advice you want to give to the audience as you leave, starting with you, Ariana. I'll come back to you. What's your one piece of advice you'd like to give?
You know what? I'm going to give it to Ariana, and I hope other people can take away from it as well. I do think you should be on TikTok. I think you have a great niche. I think you have something that people want to see. There's a human interest side of it for your brand, your product, the people using it, females, nurses, everything. I think you also need to get some press. I think you need to go to BuzzFeed and pitch yourself. That's what I think you need to do. And I feel like if anyone else is thinking that about their products, this is the time to go to news outlets and tell them what you're doing. People are looking for that human side of things, and take away from your social media. I think that's wonderful. Take all those tidbits, put it on there, get it going. So yes, Ariana, that's to you specifically. Also call me, and to anyone else.
Cool. Jana, your one piece of advice.
Oh, can Ariana go first? I'm just going to brain dead right now.
Ariana?
Great. I have been on BuzzFeed a few times. So luckily, and I've never done press, but I do get picked up by BuzzFeed, by Bustle. Yeah, but there's loads more that could be being done. It's true. Loads more.
You are amazing. You are so inspirational. I just want you to know that. So that's amazing. See, I was like, she's perfect for this. That's great.
Jana. Sorry. Go on, Ariana. Finish off.
I would say, I'm quite into during this period not to aim too high for yourselves. It's a crazy time, and just to be okay with whatever you are getting done right now. So, this comes from someone who's very driven and working very hard, but I always am constantly reminding myself that it's okay, whatever I have done. And so long as, for me, when I started the business, it was like, just do one thing to work on the business each day. And I think during a time like this, it's like, or even if you don't, just as long as you're getting by and surviving, it's just it's okay. I think it's a tough time, and just do what you can.
Yeah. Jana?
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. I wanted to say something similar to that, as don't think that you are lazy just because everybody else is like talking that they're like overachievers, and don't let that, don't let that get to you, because it's probably A, not true what they're saying, and B, I think that people should be very proud of themselves of accomplishing whatever they had done. If you stayed home for 3 days, maybe that's an amazing accomplishment. And I think it's not easy for a lot of people to stay at home for 3 days locked inside when you're a social butterfly, or, if your business is like going down. I just think that we are, getting through this, and this is going to be over pretty soon. And I would just like to tell people to just kind of stay positive and don't just crash now before the finish line. Really, I'm also like sick and fat and tired of everything. But I really want to stay positive to the very end. I don't want to make a mistake or just ruin my mental health just because I cannot stand this for another, I don't know, 15, 17, 20 days or God knows how much longer.
Yeah, mine is setbacks make way for comebacks. And let's end that there. So guys, thank you very, very much. If they want to reach you, Jana, what's the best way to contact you?
So you can reach us on our Facebook page, YLT Translations. We have some really good content going on now that I have an amazing team. And our website is ylt-translations.com.
Cool. Ariana?
Yeah, my website's blom.co, so blom.co. You can get me there, or my handle's blom.co.
And we'll see you on social media soon. Cassandra, what's the best way to reach you?
Instagram is where my go-to is. So at Cassandra_Craven, at Helium10 Software. We read all the DMs. And Jana, let's make a TikTok together, girl. Okay, we're gonna do it.
Let's do it. I don't have a TikTok, but I will open one.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll be back here. We'll do Mindset Sunday tomorrow. I'll put out the list of the content next week. Be safe. Stay home. Lots of love. Take care. I'll see you again 4 p.m. tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.